Are we back? Let me go to YouTube. I think we're back. I guess I'll edit this out. Yeah, we're back. I wonder if it, yeah, okay. So we're back. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. Audio working? Okay, well, I gotta remove the leaks now, so my internet cut off, which is crazy. Good thing I'm recording this, so just in case anything happens. But I have to remove all the leaks, the links now. I sent for people to watch the stream because it is now dated. Okay. Alright, I think it's all good. Now I can go back to Abba and preach.
And while he put his arms around...
Let me address this real quick because people say that dumb shit. Oh, I saw gay pictures of you. Bro, those were my teammates. Have you ever played a sport at a high level, military?
Yeah, sports guys are... and frat boys are fucking homos. We all know this.
Law enforcement, maybe combat sports, anything else like that, where you have a team, it's not gay. It's just what it is. You just horse around. It's boys being boys, right? Guys being guys.
When you're in a hyper-masculine environment with a lot of other dudes, sometimes you just want to be up in their ass. But it's always the dude who are like, let me see your asshole. Why?
But you know what? At some point, these fists are going to change your fucking face, and you're going to get your shit rocked. You bitch-ass motherfucker. You're a and you fucking know it.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And no one fucking respects y'all. That's why I've been on YouTube for 10 fucking years. And if we got to take this fucking video down YouTube because I'm roasting your dumb ass because I know your audience is going to sit there and report it for harassment because you're a fucking pussy, then so fucking be it. You made maybe 30 plus fucking videos talking shit.
Actually, it's 44 videos.
But you can't last 3 minutes in the fucking around with me because you know I'll demolish you. You know I'll fuck you up. You know it. I'll make you the fucking sodomite that you really are, you fucking pussy. You fucking know it. I will eat you, motherfucker.
He says I am gay, and then he wants to eat me.
I will eat you.
You want to put me in your mouth. This man is confused.
You got the fucking fear of God in you, man. But it's pussy. You atheist piece of shit. Your parents don't fucking rock with you. No one respects you. And you fucking know that shit. You piece of fucking shit.
Realest nigga on earth, man.
Oh, and you fucking know it.
If you get the same sexual gratification of dealing with a woman as you're dealing with a guy, human beings are intrinsically lazy creatures. You want to go with the path of least resistance. If you get sexual satisfaction from dudes and chicks, well, what's easier to get? Dudes. Why the hell are you going to go through the effort of courting a girl, spending money, having to meet all these prerequisites when you can go ahead and just smash a guy and be done with it? I have a problem with fucking you.
This is a sickness of the highest order.
He's saying, but what is one thing they're good at sucking? What is one thing they're good at sucking?
Nigga, even gay dudes got the beat on that. What the? Bruh. No, dog. I don't know. I'm just assuming. I don't know. What? I don't know. On personal experience.
Bro, I'm
assuming.
Okay.
You, my friend, your sexual orientation is confusion. You do not know what you want because you have not gone out and tried it. That is why you are so busy calling everyone gay. You're hoping they're going to just try it on you one day. I call this one spontaneous homosexuality. You are hoping for this experience. Embrace it. Most of us already believe that you are gay, but we are okay with it. The problem is you are not.
Female vaginas are disgusting.
No, they're not.
It is hilarious that the men who are obsessed with having sex with women find their private parts disgusting.
Why wouldn't you want to please your woman? You know, because have you not ever seen...
Like I said before, it's a woman's job to please a man, not the other way around.
No, that is actually ridiculous. When it comes to being intimate and in the bedroom, it's not. It's like, when you do something for someone, have you not seen how, and they like it, have you not seen how much they perform better? And I'm not just talking sexually, like in general.
I don't want to sound like an asshole, but a woman's ejaculation is irrelevant. Most women get off on you getting off. That's the truth. I provide.
You claim you are a provider, but you cannot provide her with an orgasm. I have heard that you are a high-value man, but...
Pause. Jesus fuck, dude. Myron looks like a Simpsons character. A real-life Matt Groening character. I was trying to figure out what he looked like. That's what he looks like.
you have arrived with a low-value performance. Yo, Abba and Preacher ignorant, bro. I could tell just by looking at you, y'all never been in comrades in arms. Y'all never been in the field, in the trenches, when it's cold as hell and you got to sit in there because the enemy firing. So what do you want to do for warmth? You cuddle up. It ain't gay to wear about your own merchandise. It is because your closet is full with your own homosexuality. Now look, I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't say, I kind of play into it with the whole pause thing.
100%.
But to me, the pause thing is a meme. I know some dudes who take it seriously. Like when you pause, they say, chill. Me, it's almost like this. It's like when somebody around me says, yeah, so then I put it inside and they go, like, that's what she said. It's just a dumb meme. The whole pause thing is a meme to me. But to be clear, to everyone watching, I don't give a who is gay and who is not. I don't care what y'all think is gay. I don't care if you think I'm gay. The idea that I would look to a bunch of straight men online and be like, guys, I'm straight. I need you to know I'm straight. Why? Are we trying to... Why do you care who I'm going to be inside of if I'm not trying to talk to you and chat you up? I think there's just a huge aversion and like creepy thing that guys have when it comes to gayness. And because they haven't settled it, they need to confirm everyone else is 100% straight to be comfortable around. Why are you concerned about another man's sexuality if you're not trying to bang them or if they're not trying to bang you or flirt with you? Why are you so concerned?
That's the gay thing. That's the thing that's really gay. Why are you so concerned about what a dude is?
It's like guys that are obsessed with like dicks. Like, oh, how big's your dick? Or, oh, like, I don't like discussing sex with a guy. Gross.
Are you looking to get, like, are you sucking? Is that what you want? Because I'd be totally cool with that if that's what you want. But why are you looking out for people that are, oh, he's gay? Why are you looking for later? Okay, you know what? Let's play into this little game. What if I was gay? Then what? Because you can't go nowhere after that.
Facts.
You're like, yeah. Then what?
I see some videos of you online. Yo, you was doing your thing.
I mean, I do my thing.
Nah, you was going hard. I'm not gonna front.
What do you mean?
Nah, you did a whole cartwheel, nigga. That shit crazy.
Like, if you watch Crumpers, they have a name and they have a family name.
Gotcha.
That.
Alright, should I even bother going to the next thing? Maybe I will. Yeah, I will. What is even the next topic? Oh, yes. I don't know if there's any videos on it. We'll see. Richard Dawkins is no longer an atheist. Finally.
Professor Dawkins, it's very good to have you join us to discuss whether it matters that Christianity is playing a diminishing role in national life. Welcome to LBC.
Thank you.
And what would be your Easter message? I mean, I've said a few things. What would you tell the nation?
Well, I must say I was slightly horrified to hear that Ramadan is being promoted instead. I do think that we are culturally a Christian country. I call myself a cultural Christian. I'm not a believer, but there's a distinction between being a believing Christian and being a cultural Christian. And so, I love hymns and Christmas carols, and I sort of feel at home.
Then why is this news? If he's just a cultural Christian. Oh my god, that fucking cat. I'm tired of interruptions, okay? Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. I want to fucking putt that cat like a football.
In the Christian ethos, I feel that we are a Christian country in that sense. It's true that statistically the number of people who actually believe in Christianity is going down, and I'm happy with that. But I would not be happy if, for example, we lost all our cathedrals and our beautiful parish churches. So I count myself a cultural Christian. I think it would matter if we substituted any alternative religion. That would be truly dreadful.
Well, which brings me to my supplementary point, which is that, as we know, church attendance is plummeting, but the erection of mosques across Europe, I think 6,000 are under construction, and there are many more, are being planned. So do you regard that as a problem? Do you think that matters?
Yes, I do, really. I mean,
I do agree with him, though. Well, not on the atheist aspect, but I do agree with him on that. Let's be real here. Like, do you want a cultural? Oh my god, that fucking cat needs to shut the fuck up. I want to beat its ass. Now where was I? I didn't beat the cat's ass. I just told it to shut up. What I was saying was we should not have a cultural Christian society, which obviously America, the UK are culturally Christian. Culturally Christian society thing is a good thing, but I would not want cultural Muslim or Jewish society. Just saying.
I just choose my words carefully. I mean, if I had to choose between Christianity and Islam, I choose Christianity every single time. I mean, it seems to me to be a fundamentally decent religion in a way that I think Islam is not.
I think you're going to have to explain why you say that, Professor Dawkins. Why is Islam fundamentally not decent like Christianity?
Yes, I mean, the way women are treated. I mean, Christianity is not great about that. It's had its problems with female vicars and female bishops and things. But there's an active hostility to women, which is promoted, I think, by the holy books of Islam. I'm not talking about individual Muslims, who, of course, are quite different. But the doctrines of Islam, the Hadith and the Quran, is fundamentally hostile to women, hostile to gays, and I find that I like to live in a culturally Christian country, although I do not believe a single word of the Christian faith.
just for balance, should we say something about fundamentalist Christians who, we can see abortion rights, reproductive rights being rolled back in Republican states in America. So Christianity is still not without its problems when it comes to women and their rights.
Well, you didn't ask me about Christianity in America. That's a different matter entirely.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm sure we got some fundamentalist Christians here too, but not as public.
Well, insofar as fundamentalist Christians oppose evolution and think that the world was created 6,000 years ago, I mean, that is pernicious nonsense, of course.
Right. Well, so I think I see where you come from. I like the phrase, you're a cultural Christian. I think I'm a bit more than a cultural Christian, although, it does, my belief waxes and wanes.
You're not a Christian then, if you're like, this is the Andrew Calvin thing I was getting at. If you're kind of like, I'm a Christian, but I don't know about what Jesus said about. You're not a Christian, I'm sorry. If you're doubting, it's fine to be like, I like Jesus, the Bible has helped me and stuff, but you shouldn't call yourself a Christian. You're not fully committed to the faith. If you're not fully committed to the faith, then you're not the faith.
Would it be a good thing or a bad thing if we became a less Christian country? And just on the foundation of this nation, with the king being the head of church and state, do you think it provides a solid foundation that we would lose something if, let's say, there was a Muslim majority?
Well, yes. I think the king, when he was Prince of Wales, was actually rather sympathetic towards Islam, and one of the problems I felt. No, I think it would be a terrible thing. And insofar as Christianity can be seen as a bulwark against Islam, I think it's a very good thing. I mean, in Africa, for example, where you have missionaries of both faiths operating, I'm on Team Christian side as far as that's concerned.
It's interesting because I sort of thought that you would be more of a Hitchinite, God is not great advocate. But it's interesting to me that you see the value and the force for good of the United Kingdom having a Christian foundation.
Yes, but I must emphasize that I think that the things that Christians believe are actually nonsense. I mean, I think that when you say you waver, I wanted to ask you, do you actually believe that Jesus had a virgin for a mother? Do you actually believe he rose from the dead? I suspect
well,
you
weirdly,
probably don't.
since you ask, Richard, if I may, because I was at New College when are you still a Don at New College? Yes.
Well, I'm retired.
You're retired,
yes,
but you don't look... Anyway, weirdly, I was just 3 weeks ago at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem.
Fuck up. That's all he does is cry. He cries all day. And so this cat in this house cries nonstop. You figure out what he's crying about. You think, oh, maybe he wants food. It's not that. You may even think, oh, he wants attention. It's not even that. He just cries just because. And if you do approach him, he just runs away from you. He's annoying.
Jerusalem, where the Christians believe that Christ was crucified, or there was the tomb, or the Gethsemane was just there, and Golgotha was there. And I have to admit that there is a real force. I mean, it feels like the fulcrum of three world religions. It really does. And Christianity is palpable there. The place pulses with Christianity. I don't know whether it made me believe the Bible anymore, but I certainly felt that Jesus was a historical figure. Yes, I did believe that.
Well,
am I wrong to think that?
No. I mean, that's quite different. But do you believe that his mother was a virgin?
Well, I mean, maybe that was a mistranslation of... Well, that's biologically impossible, isn't it?
Of course it is, yes.
Well, I mean, I used to make a joke that...
Well, she's not a real Christian, and also, why does he get, like, crazy eyes? he's all like, you don't believe Mary was a virgin, right? Right? Please say it. Please. Pathetic, dude. This guy's fucking pathetic. He's a fucking dork.
That most second children are virgin births because you can... Anyway, we don't want to go into that.
Yes.
But yes, you know what I'm saying. Were you pleased that Rishi Sunak talked about Christian values in his... He said Christian values are British values in his Easter message. You seem to be on the same page.
Yes, I didn't hear that, but
that's what he said.
Yes, I suppose so. But I don't want to be misunderstood. I mean, I do think it's nonsense. But the Christian belief, I mean, today is Easter, and of course I don't believe that Jesus rose from the dead, and I don't believe you do either. Do you?
The LBC or BBC, whatever, uses free Zoom. They don't even have Zoom to pay paid for.
Do I believe that Jesus rose from the dead? Well, I mean, you're really putting me on the spot. I would like to believe he did. Yes, I mentioned the resurrection. I mentioned the resurrection. By the way, just quickly, because I've been told we've got to stop. When my son was 2, we took him to church, and the priest said, "You can ask me anything." And he said, my 2-year-old son asked the priest, "Do you know Jesus to be true, or do you believe Jesus to be true?" And do you see what I mean? And he couldn't answer that question himself. Anyway, yes. Oh God. Anyway, listen. Lastly, just one thing. Does it matter? I'm going to ask you again if Christianity is a minority religion in this country.
I think it matters from a cultural point of view.
That's a very clear answer from you, Richard Dawkins. Thank you so much for joining us from...
All right. What else do we have tonight? On the docket. The Dawkins docket. Oh, yeah. I wanted to talk about this. This will probably be the last topic I'll talk about. The OF girl. Michael Knowles interview. I didn't even know who this girl was. I mean, I don't go on OnlyFans, so I don't know. But this girl, for some reason, was like the top creator. I don't know how.
Being vulnerable with people.
Oh my god, this is 2.5 hours. I'm not watching all 2.5 hours. Is there clips?
Being vulnerable with people is how people trust you as well.
I put it on the background.
One of the underappreciated aspects of temptation is that it's very tempting.
This guy looks like me put through an AI filter. It's really weird. No, unsettling.
Money, sex, fame. My guest today is someone who has had all of those things in spades and then came to regret it and totally cut it all off. And that would be one of the top only performers, a former only performer, Nala Ray. Nala, thank you for coming to the show.
Yeah, she made $9 million on OnlyFans and decided, you know what, I'm going to convert to Christianity. Give me a break.
Thank you, Michael.
So, I'm not just saying this to seem like goody-goody. Mm-hmm. I actually am unfamiliar with your work.
Oh, that's okay.
Your former work.
Good, that's
now
probably
you're on
great.
a totally different... But this has all happened very, very quickly.
Yeah.
You rose to fame as one of the top performers on one of the top sites in the world, and you made a ton of money, and you got extremely famous. Then you quit it all. We'll get into that.
I don't even
and now you're
know who she is. I don't even know who she is at all.
Living a totally different life.
Yes, sir.
Take me back to the beginning.
So the beginning started about 5 years ago, if we're talking about going back to the beginning of when I started.
I want to go back to the beginning.
Oh, like little Nala.
Yeah.
So as far back as I can remember, I have been in a big family. I was raised with 4 other children, and they're all my parents. But we were a family of 7. We weren't always like a religious family. It was probably when I was 10 years old that I had lost my house in a tornado. And then my parents went through a divorce, and we weren't serving the Lord then. But it was crazy how God brought us back together, and then my parents remarried. Because I don't trust people like that in my day-to-day. Like, if you're always...
You and you... This is 2.5 hours. I don't want to sit through 2.5 hours of this fucking shit.
In your family, you're basically all on the same page, doing the same kind of thing.
Yep.
This is age 15-ish, 16?
Yes.
Around there? Okay. So you want to get out, you want to be independent, then what?
Okay, so I was about 15, 16. I had worked at Hardee's for like 2 years. I got another job in fast food that didn't last very long because I knew I didn't want to be in fast food anymore. I got a job as a waitress for a breakfast and lunch place. And I loved that job. That really helped. That was when I started going to college around 18. So right when I graduated, I got right into college. And I went
This is a local college or you
Yeah,
went,
State College of Florida.
Right.
So I went there for 2 years. I was studying to become a dental hygienist because I was like, hey, I like teeth. This is cool. Like, let's do it. Every time I went to the dentist, I had a great...
You like teeth. He's so fucking funny. This guy's a fucking simp. Oh, OnlyFans is evil and shit, but he's fucking laughing at this chick's shitty jokes. Oh yeah, I wanted to be a dentist because, like, you know. Wait, let's play that back.
You and your family, you're basically all on the same page, doing the same kind of thing.
Yep.
This is age 15-ish, 16?
Yes.
Around there? Okay. So you want to get out, you want to be independent, then what?
Okay, so I was about 15, 16. I had worked at Hardee's for like 2 years. I got another job in fast food that didn't last very long because I knew I didn't want to be in fast food anymore. I got a job as a waitress for a breakfast and lunch place. And I loved that job. That really helped. That was when I started going to college around 18. So right when I graduated, I got right into college. And I went
This is a local college or you
Yeah,
went,
State
okay.
College of Florida.
Right.
So I went there for 2 years. I was studying to become a dental hygienist because I was like, hey, I like teeth. This is cool. Like, let's do it. Every time I went to the dentist, I had a great experience.
You like teeth? Really? That's what you're cracking up over? Give me a fucking break, dude. You find teeth that funny? God, what a fucking doofus.
And I was like, I could do this.
What? Who has the, every time I go to the dentist, they make my mouth bleed because I go once every 5 years, and then they yell at me for not flossing properly. But you had a good...
Dude, he's totally flirting with her.
I wanted to be that person that yelled at others.
A lot of control.
Yeah, but I'm very interested in the anatomy of human body and like the face and everything. So I loved my classes. Unfortunately, I didn't stay in, but it was not short after I had gotten a job in surgery scheduling for an orthopedic company. So I felt like my medical career was kind of taking off actually without a full degree.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, and I really loved orthopedics. Again, I just love the human body. So it just kind of fell into that category. So
why do you think you love the human body?
I'm fascinated. Do
you have any sense of where that might have come from, or?
Our creator. I think, but at the time I didn't know it. Absolutely being a creation of his. But at the time I didn't think about it like that. I was just fascinated.
Yeah, she likes, she's fascinated by how many things she could fit in her pussy.
By the human body. And when I went through my anatomy and physiology classes, I was like, whoa, like this is crazy. And then I went through labs dissecting cats and I thought that was amazing. And so...
It's so interesting to hear you say that.
She also likes exploring men's assholes. I saw a video of her eating a guy's ass, so she's fascinated by it. Not just teeth, but assholes as well.
Because a lot of modern religion, they tell you body doesn't matter at all. It's all, it's just kind of mamby-pamby stuff in your head. But the ancient Christian writer Tertullian famously said, the flesh is the hinge of salvation. The faith is a sacramental faith, so you receive the Holy Eucharist or any of the sacraments. And the idea is it's a meeting of the physical with the metaphysical.
Wow.
And that's lost on so many people in modern life. But you're saying that actually, wittingly or unwittingly, was drawing you to the body.
I love the human body. I think it's artwork. I really do. Like, when I started this journey on Only, I was very pro nudity, because I love the human body. I think we're beautiful, truly. I have a different form of that love now for it's more, I love what God created instead of just nudity, so, and that was.
What do you see as the distinction?
Perversion. That's pretty much the distinction I feel now is like promiscuity versus, acceptance of something beautiful and seeing it for what God created it to be and how God wants it to be used instead of being perverted in it.
Right. In almost a kind of idolatry. Like you think, we could all name aspects of the human body that we are
prone to.
But if so if you consider that, say in the context of marriage, as it ought to be, and you say, okay, I really, this part's kind of nice, and this part.
He's
but
totally
if you
into her. She's kind of into him too. This is hilarious, man.
you consider that as part of the integrated whole of the person that is then also a composite of body and soul, then that's all great. It's like a song of songs, and it's really good. We're not trying to suppress that desire.
No.
But if you make an idol, you have a thing for this body part or that body part, then it really becomes, in the true sense of the word, a fetish.
It does.
Like a fetish is a term that refers to pagan idolatry.
Yes.
Right, like you could have a fetish for some weird, idol statue kind of thing.
Of course, just like you can have a foot fetish.
Right.
Absolutely.
Or any, really any physical aspect.
Absolutely.
Which seems to be so.
Can you explain fetishes in a more autistic way, please?
Prominent today.
Yes. We live in a very evil and adulterous generation. So perversion is a very big part of that, I think.
There's so much more to say. First, though, go to preborn.com.
Well,
So that's more than a little bit of a break.
Yes, it was like a couple years, like 3-4 years. So.
But when you were growing up, were your siblings like you in the sense that they didn't? No.
No.
So you were, and some guy reaches out to you, whoever that is, and says, "Hey, you should join Only, and you'll make a lot of money and get famous."
Yep.
And then that happened.
It actually happened.
Which it doesn't happen for anyone, but it did happen for you.
It was crazy because the guy was like a recruiter. I don't know if he worked with Only. I didn't stay in contact with him along, but he was trying to get me to sign up under this code. So he tried to get me to sign up. I thought it was sketchy, so I didn't use his code. I was like, I'm not gonna do that. I don't even know who you are. And then I started Only. I was doing it all by myself, and I made like $85,000 the first month. I had worked my butt off for a month, and I knew that I wanted to create content on TikTok, on Instagram. I just
content or just any
content. I'm a creative person, and I wanted to make videos for TikTok. I wanted to quit my job because my job at the time in orthopedics was going nowhere. I was not getting promoted. I was just kind of in the same spot that I was 2.5 years ago. And I was so disappointed in that because I know I'm a leader. I know I'm supposed to be the CEO. I just know, I feel it in my bones.
When I started broadcasting on the internet, I think I made $85 in my first month, maybe my first year, $85,000. So how? This is not.
It's okay.
I mean, no way am I. You're a lovely gal. I'm sure you were very good at it.
Yeah.
But how is it that the median income on?
Michael Knowles, before doing this interview, did research on her and saw her OnlyFans re-uploads. Was all he was looking at her. He wasn't, jerking off or anything, but he was doing this the whole time. He was scrolling through and he's all yeah. Interesting. She's a nice gal. Oh, wow. She's a nice gal. Interesting. That's how Michael Knowles watches porn.
It's just like $300 or something a month.
Something
Or
like
I
that.
think maybe even lower than that.
Yeah.
What was it about you that was able to make, annualized like $1 million a year?
The biggest
Starting out for day one.
So the biggest thing I think that changed my own career was that I had a niche in the system. One, I have red hair. Two, I'm a gamer. Three, I love anime. And I'm a cosplayer. So
a niche. Get the fuck out of here. You are like thousands of other girls. This has been a thing since, dude, probably the early 2010s. This type of woman. One of the earliest examples would be what's that chick? Jessica or Jessie? What's her name? She was a chick that cosplayed as what's that video game? The Chainsaw Girl game. You guys know what I'm talking about. That chick, she's like one of the earliest examples of that. Also, if you really want to go way back, like people like Olivia Munn and that G4 era, like Olivia Munn, even like Sarah Underwood, a lot of those chicks were doing that kind of I'm a nerdy, sexy, nerdy girl thing, like back in like the 2000s, not even the 2010s, but the 2000s. So that type of woman has been around for ever.
I put all of that energy.
That is interesting too. I was thinking about that recently. That that kind of like era, 2000s, like the G4 era. I mean, the internet was around, but that obviously like TikTok. Before YouTube was big, or when YouTube started, but it was, it wasn't like what it is now. But in the era in the 2000s, like the G4, that nerdy era, the nerd culture era in the 2000s, that's really where a lot of this stuff we see now started. Also, there's that other chick, that cosplay chick. I forgot her name. She was on G4 a lot. What's that chick? There's that documentary about her from like 2010. What's that cosplay? She was like the most famous cosplayer at one point. There's that chick too. I don't know if she did as much sexy cosplay, but that like that G4 era, like really like that era is what created what we have now. So it's kind of interesting looking back on that era.
Into creating Nala.
You're a weeb.
It is weird too. Wait, hold on. It is weird too. Like that is back then that was kind of a funny weird thing. Like, oh, like, did you see Olivia Munn? She's dressed up as Wonder Woman. Like that was kind of a niche thing because we never really saw like cosplay was a thing and stuff, but we never really seen that in like kind of a mainstream kind of like, oh, a sexy girl doing this. What? It was kind of a niche at one time, a special thing, but now everybody does it.
It's just like $300 or something a month.
Something
Or
like
I
that.
think maybe even lower than that.
Yeah.
What was it about you that was able to make, annualized like $1 million a year?
The biggest
Starting out for day one.
So the biggest thing I think that changed my own career was that I had a niche in the system. One, I have red hair. Two, I'm a gamer. Three, I love anime. And I'm a cosplayer. So I put all of that energy into creating Nala.
You're a weeb.
I'm a
You're a weeb. I'm surprised he knows that.
Weeb.
Is that what it is?
Hardcore
That
weeb.
so I learned that term because you're the second weeb that's been on this show. The first one was Archduke Edward Habsburg, the Hungarian ambassador to the Holy See, and the second one is Nala Ray. So you're into all this weird nerdy stuff.
Weird stuff,
And
yeah.
that's what made you $1 million a year starting day one.
Yeah, I just think that no one was doing stuff like that on Only at the time. And I was.
I'm just saying, like, this, that shtick, the cosplay porn shtick, has been around forever, dude. It's been around forever.
It's just like, let's try it, And I started in mainly on my cosplaying because my biggest thing that I sold was that I'm not just one girl. I'm multiple girls. Because
So
when you
cosplaying
cosplay,
is
changing
costumes?
hair, makeup, I wear fake contacts and outfits. So I completely looked like a different person. And so had characters kind of to each character kind of thing, like their own personality almost.
Okay.
So I was like multiple women in one.
2 for the price of 1. There you go. Yeah.
So that was like my selling point, was just kind of that. And the first month I was only selling like lewd pictures, and that was about it, and talking to them on Only. I didn't get into until like quite a few months later. I was like really trying to think about it first because I was getting so many offers to start or doing more and more for more money.
So you were making 85 grand a month without, it was just naked pictures basically?
That's it. That's literally it.
So, wow.
And sexualizing talk with them, but that's about it. Like from the comfort of my own home.
But that's never, so I don't know, knowing a little bit about human nature, I know that would never be enough for anybody because that's not how lust and desire work.
Yeah.
But one could imagine, you say, okay, I'm now going to make $1 million a year, and I've compromised my dignity, and I've given myself some reputational damage, but it's only nude pictures. These days, every woman sends naked pictures.
That was
from the time she's 18.
definitely my logic at the time.
And so, why wouldn't you then say, $1 million's enough, no more? I'm only gonna keep doing this. I'm not gonna go further and make full videos.
What's crazy is there was like a time in that period before I started that my parents had found out, and
how did they find out?
So it was a crazy circumstance. I was out to dinner with.
Dad was beating off to this shit. That's the funny thing. That's how a lot of people discover their kids doing porn, because the dad is just watching porn and sees their daughter, and it's so fucked up.
My parents, just me and them, and a waiter came up to our table and was like, "Are you Nala?" And I was like, "No, like absolutely not." And all my mom had to do was Google the name Nala. There's no other Nala out there, nothing. And it showed everything, like my Twitter.
So Nala is your stage name? Mm-hmm. Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yes.
Okay, so she had never heard the name Nala.
Nothing.
But this guy, also what a creep.
I was so angry.
Could
I
you
was like,
imagine?
can you not see that I'm with my parents?
But even then, even if you were alone or with friends or something,
Yeah.
if you're a dude and you see a actress, wouldn't you just keep it to yourself? Because basically you're going up and admitting like, hey, I'm a
I
pervert.
watch you.
Yeah, I'm a freak, man.
You'd be surprised. I have had so many people over the years come up to me out of the blue and just be like, "Are you Nala? Can I take a photo with you?" I'm like, you know what, sure. Like,
Wow.
It's part of the business, unfortunately, but there are a lot of people who have come up to me, a lot. And so it's just like, okay, like, what am I gonna say, no?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
at the time, I'm like, I just need to be kind to everybody. They are my supporters.
Yeah,
they're
paying
giving
the
me
bills.
money.
Yeah.
So what am I going to say? And be mean? Absolutely not. I'm not a mean person anyway.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's how they found out. My mom didn't know at the direct time at the dinner that was who I was. But then the next couple of days, she found out, did research. And that was when I decided to move to California at that time. So I was already going to be leaving Florida. But it was so hard.
Why were you going to move to California?
What's that?
You said you were going to move to California.
I was in Florida at the time.
But why did you want to move? Just
because
for
my business had started growing.
Got it.
And I didn't want to be near my family while I was doing this. I wanted to keep it all separate. And I felt like a big fish in a little pond. in Florida, I did. And I wanted to be a little fish in a big pond.
Yeah.
So just to network and see where it went. But again, I told you, like, I'm a leader. Like, whatever I try to put my time and energy into, I do it 100%. And I will go hard. So what happened was, like, my parents kind of disowned me. And, like, I stopped talking to all my siblings. And it broke me.
Not to bring up a bad memory, but you sort of seem to gloss over that.
That world that broke me and continued breaking me. Woman making more money and being the complete breadwinner. Like, I could come into your life and spoil the F out of you. Just like everything, you know, could give you whatever you wanted. And that
I'd love a Patek Philippe watch would be good.
You.
Maybe like some kind of a nice briefcase. Or I'm just
Dude, he's totally flirting with her. Wow. I thought this was a strict Christian man.
You know,
I heard you like the Kiehl's lip balm.
That's probably the most expensive
Oh, there's a lot of chemistry going on between them.
thing I have around
so
here. Those things are like $1,000 a tin. Yeah. So, right. So you're saying it's not
the chemistry. Wow.
even just I want to be financially independent compared to my family growing up, say. You're saying even compared to this guy I'm dating, this guy's a schlub. He's poor compared
Absolutely.
to me. And I'm so...
I had very little respect for him. Very little.
Fair enough.
Right, well, you're...
First of all, why are you with him? Second... Yeah, that's the thing. Why are you with this guy if he's a schlub? Like, why are you with him in the first place? Why are you, like, with him and, like... stringing him along and like what the fuck, like just don't hook up with a guy like that in the first place. We don't like that. And Michael Knowles is like, yeah, fuck that guy. This guy is Michael Knowles is into her.
Gay baiting. I thought that was really gross, honestly.
Weird,
but he didn't do that the whole relationship. He had just started that almost by the end of our relationship. I was so against it. I didn't know how to feel about it. I was like,
how homophobic
ew.
of you. Very homophobic.
Yes, of course, obviously.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It was very hard to deal with for the short amount of time that I did deal with it, but I really didn't understand it.
But why, again, I don't purport to understand female psychology. Why was it so important to be financially independent? Like, why not just, you're obviously a charming, smart, good-looking girl. Why not just, like, go marry a rich hunk? And
I was told that by people, including my dad. Like, you could be a trophy wife. I was like, ew. Do we literally have a Gucci bag flung in front of my face and be like,
yeah,
ew?
Yeah.
News. I have a husband. I got married.
Marvelous.
So yeah.
And when did that happen?
This last Sunday. Yeah.
You must be like Michael Knowles. Like, imagine the psychology behind that. Yeah, I'm a Christian man. I'm gonna marry this former OnlyFans girl that is a millionaire, and she just converted to Christianity 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna marry her. What is the psychology behind that guy? Maybe this is like a genre of Christian guys like Michael Knowles that are into like girls, like former like whores and stuff. I think that's what they're into. Not pure virgins. Weird.
So we're filming this on, what day is this? Wednesday?
Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah.
So, and have you made a public announcement about this?
Nope.
So am I like the 15th person to find this out or something?
You're like the 7th person to find this out.
Right. Wow.
Not even my parents know.
That's great. Well, one does not congratulate a woman on getting married because even though popularly people do it, but it's sort of offensive because you're basically saying, oh, what, some man picked you? So really one says, best wishes. This is marvelous. One congratulates the man, who I haven't met yet. I presumably somewhere.
You will for sure.
That's marvelous. So, and this was Easter Sunday.
This was Easter Sunday, Resurrection Day. What better day to get married? But we were ready. We were so ready. We knew months ago, like, we wanted to get married to each other. That saying truly stands where when you know, you know.
Yeah.
I could not be more sure. Like, absolutely not. And this man, was the one who introduced me to Christ again. You know, I have this past with Christ where like I was a pastor's kid, but I never truly had a relationship with God. I was just a pastor's kid under like some umbrella. And that's not a relationship at all. That's like religion umbrella. So for me, he was the one who started speaking to me and praying over me. We were just friends, like nothing romantic at all.
How'd you meet?
We met on TikTok, actually. It was crazy.
Is that the first good thing that's ever come out of TikTok?
Absolutely.
Might be the only.
1,000,000%. But it started as such an amazing friendship. And he lived in Virginia, I lived in California. We didn't like touch or meet for months. We only spoke on FaceTime almost every single day, all day long. Like we got to know each other without any physical touch, which is like my love language. So that was crazy for me. Right.
But how does one meet on TikTok?
Okay, this was crazy. So he does like live battling on TikTok, and I was just swiping one night, and he's prior Air Force, and he had this like battle helmet on and like a bulletproof like vest on. It was amazing. And so he was in his like live room wearing that, and I was
definitely one of those guys that has a Anglo night profile pic.
just so curious. I was like, why does this guy look like he's about to go into battle?
Wait,
and
you're telling me you marry this like Giga Chad Air Force like
Giga Chad. Wow, Michael Knowles is terminally online.
Military guy, but he's also a total nerd who's like playing video games.
Yes. I'm so lucky. I swear, not even lucky. I'm blessed.
with your.
Yes.
This is like, there's so many of these type of guys. Bap, even though he's a homosexual.
So blessed. But we met because I found him so funny on live. I was like, who is this guy? Because every time he got a big gift, he'd like throw his chair. I just loved his character. I was like, what? I have to get to know this guy. So we were just talking, nothing sexual at all, which was odd for me because of my past. And I had been single then for about almost 2 years. I had taken a huge break from dating anyone. I was just like, I'm done. I'm so done because of how my last relationship ended with the gay baiter.
The gay performer.
Yeah, the schmut.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we just started talking, and it was a couple months before we met. We met in Nashville for the first time. That's when we decided to meet. Yeah, so it was so special. And again, he was not sexual with me in the least bit. He would barely hug me, and I loved that. It was something about that just like, I was like, wow. Like, I was enthralled by it. I was so happy and thankful, but I got to love him in such a different way. And it was like being best friends first. And he even said it, he was like, you're my best friend. I don't talk to anyone this much. I don't get along with anyone like this. And again, we're both kind of nerds. We both played Call of Duty together, like while we were on FaceTime and stuff. It was the best.
I've never played Call of Duty.
Really?
I've never. I'm not.
We're both big gamers.
Wow, that's cool. That's really cool. And then you meet up here and hit the honky tonks or something.
We stayed in 2 separate rooms. We didn't want to do anything.
So were you, at this point, you were off on it, or you're still on?
Nope, I was still on.
You're still on it, but you're prudish about the sharing a hotel room with your boyfriend?
Oh, we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend. The first time we met, we were just friends. He had not asked me to be his girlfriend yet. So, which is, again, why I was very thankful.
This is this is really charming to me in a way, but you're coming at this point in your life, you're a pornographic actress. Mm-hmm. You kind of have some worldly wisdom at this point.
Okay.
But you're saying like, well, he didn't ask me to go steady yet. He didn't pin me on his varsity jacket, so we weren't But a boy and a girl meet up in the middle of the country. Probably it's not just to go get a milkshake. They probably like each other, and
we do. We really found out then, the first time meeting in person.
Yeah.
Okay, there's some feelings. I'm not saying there wasn't any feelings, but
her man's a simp. It's starting to make sense now. Because I was wondering, like, what Christian guy would hook up with this chick? But it's like, it makes sense now.
Okay, so it wasn't just because there's something very charming about this idea that, on the one hand, you've been kind of damaged by this awful career, but then you also have this kind of innocence to, does he like me? He likes me not. He loves me.
Exactly how I felt, and it was because of the way he treated me was so respectful.
Yeah.
And not jump to a conclusion.
Yeah.
I had a very big, I wouldn't say issue, but it was a very controversial video that she made about me, and I had to just pray. I needed to pray because I felt like I was getting heated about it, and that wasn't the right attitude to have at all. Like, I really wanted to respond more in kindness than anything.
That is the time to put away Twitter, or X now. The moment you start to actually get angry, put it away.
Put it away. It wasn't even, I deleted my Twitter. I don't have Twitter. I didn't know I was being spoken about on Twitter at all. I had just watched her YouTube video on me, and it was, I couldn't even finish it because there were so many loose ends, and I don't want to say it this way, but lies, outright lies being said about me that I felt the need to correct, but that was like my flesh. My flesh was like,
right.
That's wrong. Like I don't know why I'm being perceived this way by this woman who's never spoken to me, never reached out to me, and I am only now in her eye because of my change, right? Bitter and dying, or is the fruit that I'm producing sweet? And is it growing in the soil that I am in right now?
Right.
Which one is it? You know what I'm saying? So these changes that I'm talking about making, like modesty, and I'm now married, which so many people think that it was more impossible for me to get married.
That seems to me kind of like the proof that it's all real, right? You did just and we get to break some news. That's fabulous.
I'm very thankful.
That's an amazing thing.
Thanks.
So I don't know what else you can do now.
I don't mind judgment because the world hated
the kind of like the more you lose your innocence. I mean, this is so
your purity,
a truism. But and so you see things that the existence of which you didn't even understand.
All right, let's see what she was like before all this.
So what is your current relationship status? Are you single? Do you have...
Dude, I fucking hate this guy. I hate this channel. I hate all these people. I hate him. I hate her. I definitely hate that guy. Everybody hates that guy on the right. I don't even know his name. He's the biggest fake ever. These are all douches, dude. Douche bags. And this is the most boring podcast ever. At least Fresh and Fit's like entertaining. Can have a good time watching it. Fresh Fit's a good thing that, if let's say you're at home drinking, needing something to watch, having a good laugh, Fresh and Fit's definitely a good show to put on. But this whatever podcast is a fucking snooze fest. And it reminds me of like a podcast that exists in the GTA universe.
You have a friend.
It's supposed to be like a parody of Fresh and Fit.
Benefits? Are you in the talking stage? Do you have a situationship, relationship, fiance, marriage? Go ahead.
So I'm actually super single right now. I've been single for like 10 months. Very, very happy with my current life situation. And I'm really not looking.
Why does that chick always wear a fucking helmet? Is she scared that she's gonna fall down and break her head, fragile fucking head open?
For anybody, so.
Okay,
if I do find someone, it has to be a regular person. Cannot be anyone famous. I don't give a about status. Has to be regular. Normal
person.
Because I'm so not normal. I need someone to equalize me. If they're crazy
Balancing.
and I'm crazy, it just doesn't work. So, yeah.
How are you crazy?
I'm dominant.
You're dominant?
Yes.
Like you want to what?
I'm daddy.
You're daddy.
Uh-huh.
Whoa, wait, show the tattoo to the camera right here.
It just says daddy. Yeah.
Did that hurt?
No, it was actually on my Halloween party, and I was streaming on my Halloween party night, and they gifted.
That Asian girl cracks me up. She has her stupid fucking helmet. She looks like a Hanna-Barbera character. She's always like. She looks like an Asian Wojak.
Did so many subs. I was like, you know what? I had a tattoo artist in my house. I was like, do you have your stuff with you? So I got tattooed in my game room during a holiday.
Why is there eyes white chick there? I'm confused. This is such a fucking faggot ass fucking
Halloween party, and then just went back downstairs and partied.
Okay, so you're daddy.
I'm daddy. I girls with on. This is what makes me more dominant. I would a guy, but they're too scared.
Wait, Eric, can you boost the audio a little bit? Put it to 90. I don't know. It sounds a bit low. And do you date men or women?
Oh, men.
Both?
I'm so attracted to men. Like, I need, but like when I'm drunk, like women, obviously. But I
Okay.
feel like that's every woman's answer, correct?
Is it?
Like when you're drunk. Oh, okay.
No.
Maybe it's just me then. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but
I
I
relate.
speak for
Okay. I
myself.
relate.
When I get drunk, it's like,
Okay. And you said you're crazy.
okay, and more of like a controlled crazy. So I feel very fiery and spicy, and I really just want to live my life and be very, very happy. But I'll do whatever the I want. And it's really hard for me to take advice from people that I don't respect, and I don't respect a lot of people. So.
Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, if you had to put where do you fall in terms of craziness?
Crazy. Oh my goodness. Like I said, it's more of a controlled crazy. So I feel like I'm probably a 7, 8.
On the 1
Definitely
to 10
not
scale.
uncapped yet.
Okay. So and you said you need a normal person.
No. And I need to know that you would literally beat the living shit out of someone for me if I needed you to.
Okay, we're done. I'm done. That has been the Ash Montoya show. Good night!